I'm okay. Maybe I'll wait another day. He's like, no, we're going to get your shower and I'm going to dry your hair for you. And I remember getting in that shower and he never flinched. Mm-hmm. This is somebody who visually can...
He passed out when you had Gray.
Right. He passed out when I delivered my Grayson, right. Or no, I think it was Chase. It was Chase. But he is such a visual person.
Julie Chrisley was diagnosed with breast cancer 2 years before Todd Chrisley and his wife began production on their renowned television program, Chrisley Knows Best. In the new podcast of Savannah Chrisley Unlocked with Savannah, Julie shares with her daughter for the first time her brave battles against cancer. Savannah, who was just a child at the time, can't stop the tears, and neither can we, as she hears her mom's battle for life. 2 of Todd's pals have received cancer diagnosis in the year 2012. He advised Julie that they ought to have colonoscopies as a preventative measure. Additionally, he advised her to obtain a mammogram. She had 2 tumors, as the surgeons had discovered. Whoa. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Topish. We have some exciting stories that are full of lip-smacking delicacies, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. With that being said, let's begin. Todd's advice would have been deemed superfluous because Julie was 39 years old. Her family had no history of breast cancer, and most doctors advise women to undergo yearly mammograms after turning 40. However, it's not uncommon to develop cancer without a family history of the disease, as we discovered from our exclusive interview with breast cancer survivor and founder of the I Have Wings Foundation, Jeanette Chambers. Fortunately, Julie did what her husband had advised, albeit she admitted that she had only done so in the hopes that he would shut up and leave her alone. Her doctor informed her that additional photos were required when the test was complete. She was initially unconcerned because some of her friends had told her that large breasts could be denser and more fibrous in women, which is why doctors typically request more tests. But a few days later, she received a call from the hospital telling her that she needed to get a biopsy because the technicians had discovered a small growth that needed to be examined. Following the biopsy, her physician confirmed that the tumor was indeed malignant and that she required medical attention. Todd, on the other hand, didn't sleep for 3 weeks. Julie was unconcerned even at that point. Her care would be provided by Johns Hopkins Medical Center, according to Todd and Julie Chrisley, who've been married since May 1996. When I got there, an oncologist recommended a lumpectomy, which involves only part of the breast being removed. Though she believed that a double mastectomy, in which all breast tissue is removed, could be a preferable option due to decreased recurrence rates, Julie was unsure of it. Because Julie had valued her breast throughout her life, making the choice was not simple. She had a successful surgery, and because of her cancer had not progressed to her lymph node, chemotherapy was not necessary. The best course of action, however, was to have a double mastectomy because as the surgery went on, the doctors discovered that she actually had 2 tumors. Prior to having reconstructive surgery, Julie had to wait a few weeks, and in those days, according to her, her relationship with Todd got to a whole new level. The star recounted 2 days after having a mastectomy that she felt extremely vulnerable during an interview with the Tennessean. Todd pushed her to join him in the shower so he could assist her in washing her hair since he knew it would make her feel better. Just days after having her breast removed, Julie was terrified of how her husband would react if he saw her in her underwear. She started crying when he removed her bandages in the shower after they had entered. Todd, on the other hand, kept saying, "You're fantastic. You look great." Julie remarked on that lovely moment, "He never flinched, and I genuinely think that event elevated our connection to a whole new level." Julie felt like a new woman after going breast augmentation since then, and she's embraced a healthy lifestyle that's been going in for checkups on a regular basis, and she's currently cancer-free. Unfortunately, Julie is not the only member of the family to have battled a life-threatening illness. Following the COVID-19 diagnosis, Todd's daughter, Savannah Chrisley, recently provided an update on her father's health. After being ill for a few weeks, the TV star spent a few days in the hospital, but thankfully, he's now back home with his family. Savannah noted that Todd Chrisley felt 75% better, that his eccentric attitude had returned, and that his mischievous smile had persisted despite everything. Julie was diagnosed with breast cancer in March 2012 following a subpar mammogram. She was just 39 years old and had no family history and displayed no symptoms. The current recommended screening age is 45, which is controversial as we previously stated. She did, however, have a husband who is staunch in his convictions and doesn't give in lightly. Todd is, after all, the Chrisley that the show's title refers to. Regardless of whether you want to call it intuition, divine intervention, or just a hunch, what matters is that Todd was certain Julie needed a mammogram, and he insisted that she get checked out one morning. She called her doctor on that particular day. However, she continues, "I still had it done because I knew Todd wouldn't give up. They told me my insurance would definitely not cover the screening. My business, my husband, my 5 children, and I all needed my attention. There was no time for me to be sick." Todd Chrisley ended up being right. A tumor that was cancerous was detected from the mammogram, and life as they'd known it ended for Julie and the rest of the family. "At the time, my life was busy and frantic. I had to look after my business, my partner, and our 5 children. I was too busy to be sick," asserts Julie. "Boy, did I learn that God, not I, was in charge immediately." Even though cancer altered Julie's life, she believes that she still felt fortunate. Due to early detection and complete removal of her cancer with a double mastectomy, Julie didn't require any extra treatment. Like many other breast cancer survivors, Julie found it difficult to come to terms with losing her breasts. She asserts that breast cancer affects your body forever. Losing your breasts can be really upsetting since your culture places such a high emphasis on them. The fact that my disease had not spread and that I could start a reconstruction right away was something I had constantly remind myself of. Todd also had a significant role in Julie's self-esteem restoration. She asserts that initially he was dependable. He once said that nothing else mattered as long as I survived, and I'll never forget that. I never felt uneasy with him. As we became more intimate than ever, I understood how fortunate I am to have him in my life. Julie called Todd the best nurse a girl could wish for. When she returned home from the hospital, she claimed he had the room florally adorned. He was available to me every single day. It was amazing that he managed to administer all of my prescriptions and change every bandage, considering that he passed out at the sight of blood. He was unflappable. 3 years have passed since Julie last had cancer. Praise be to God, she says. Cancer, according to Julie, had taught her one lesson that stuck with her throughout everything. The things that matter most in life cannot be bought. So it's probably safe to assume that Julie may have the best insight. After learning of the news, the 42-year-old started researching the best course of action. She clarifies, "My double mastectomy was performed on March 22nd after my diagnosis on March 5th. My use of time was effective. As soon as I learned of my illness, I started my research. Todd and I had a sitting conversation. I had to make decisions that were the best for my family. I didn't want to put my kids under any additional stress. I was both a teenager and a 6-year-old. Now celebrating 3 years of being cancer-free, Julie, who also underwent reconstructive surgery and ultimately underwent a hysterectomy, keeps sharing her story in the hopes of empowering other women. She traveled from Atlanta to New York City last month to take part in the Susan G. Komen race for the Cure 5K. It warms my heart to learn about other women's stories. She claims that many women don't feel they have somebody with whom they can communicate their emotions. Women approach me every time I pass them on the street. It makes me delighted to be able to repay that courtesy. When you get a diagnosis, it becomes very personable. All of these women have become my subjects," added Julie. "The more it is talked about, the more both men and women will understand it. There's no basis or keeping it a secret. Therefore, discuss it right away. If I can only persuade one person who's been holding off getting a mammogram to do so, then I feel like everything I went through wasn't in vain." Jackie Collins, who passed away from breast cancer on September 19th at the age of 77, made the right decision by keeping her diagnosis a secret, Julie points out, even though sharing isn't for everyone. She lived her life on her terms, she continued. Regardless of whether we choose a double mastectomy or the path she took as women, we have that right. This should not be decided by anybody else. This is not their call. You must arm yourself with knowledge and use your own discretion while making decisions. A good example is Angelina Jolie. Julie points out that the woman's educational and personal experiences have had an impact on her decision to get a preventative double mastectomy. "I give her a salute," she remarked. The 3-time mother and stepmother of 2 children supports people starting families at 40 and older. Simply leave. I implore you to make the trip. Mammograms provide no purpose. I suggest you leave as soon as you feel secure doing so. And Todd agrees. That ends today's video. Please leave a comment below to let us know what you think will happen next with the Chrisleys. Like and share this video to stay up to date on their progress, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Topish keeps you up to date on all the latest Hollywood celebrity news, drama, and gossip. Subscribe to our channel and check back for new videos and updates, and we'll see ya in the next video.